Am I the scumbag for doing the same thing to my sister-in-law that she does to my son? So background, I, 32 female, have a brother, Dave, 35 male, who is married to Sarah, 29 female. They don't have children yet. I have a son who just turned 4 and a 3-month-old daughter with my husband, 39 male. My husband and I live in Belgium most of the time, but we travel back to visit family about once a month in England. At home, we both speak English and French to our children. My husband is Belgian, and right now my son is in this very sweet phase where he'll sometimes mix up the two languages and say a couple words in English in a French sentence and vice versa. This has never posed a problem to us, and even the staff at his nursery have reassured us that it's very common and they tend to grow out of it once they start school. My sister-in-law has decided that this is a problem. So when we were visiting my parents and she notices my son doing this, she'll correct him, but she does so very rudely, whereas my husband and I will just gently correct him. Anyway, we're visiting at the moment, and she's now decided that instead of correcting him, she's just going to start ignoring him when he does this. I sort of noticed her doing it when we arrived, and I thought it was odd, but assumed maybe she was just stressed. Her job is quite intense, but it only really became an issue yesterday. My husband was talking to my dad outside, and I was feeding my daughter in the other room, and I'd let Lewis with Sarah and Dave. When I came back downstairs, Lewis was crying, and I managed to understand that he tried to ask Sarah for a drink. He has a special cup he uses that he was holding, so it was obvious what he meant, but she just ignored him. I asked her why, and she explained that she wasn't going to reply to him unless he said the sentence correctly, and that I shouldn't be ignoring my son's obvious speech issues. For context, it's not that she didn't know what he wanted. She told me that she understood exactly what he was asking for, but that she was deliberately refusing because he didn't ask correctly. This really made me mad, but luckily my husband came inside at that moment and pulled me away so we could calm down and settle Lewis. That night at the dinner table, Sarah asked me to pass her something, but she said it in bad English. She is English. I just mean that she asked for it in slang. Think, pass us the peas, will you? I had a bit of an epiphany, and I decided to totally ignore her. She asked again, and I did the same thing. My brother asked why I was ignoring his wife, and I said that I'm not able to reply if she can't speak English correctly, and that it's wrong of him to ignore her obvious issues with grammar. She was pretty mad with me, and I admit it was incredibly childish, but she was needlessly being a dickhead to my baby. Should I apologize?